Hi everyone, this is Kalyan Kumar and welcome once again to an unboxing and review in Product Review. In 2013, I bought my first Alienware R417 and I thought it was the fastest machine on the planet as it had the latest CPU, GPU and 32 gigs of RAM. But surprisingly, I found it to boot extremely slow and open software very slowly compared to my Wacom-centric companion, which is just an Ultrabook. Compared to the Alienware, it was lightning fast in booting and opening any application. And the Wacom had only integrated GPU, not any dedicated GPU. It has the same CPU as the Alienware and had only 8 gigs of RAM. It was then that I learned the difference between spinning drives and solid-state drives or SSDs. While prices of internal SSDs have come down to a point where many can afford to buy a machine where at least a part of the storage is solid state, most external storage solutions still tend to involve hard disks. The main reason is, of course, cost. Spinning drives, especially with 5400 RPM, are the most common with as high as 14 terabyte internal drives and external drives with a max of 8 terabyte on a single drive. But external SSDs are more than 5 times the cost. The advantage with SSDs is the stability, as they do not have any moving parts, as well as high speed of read and write, which is as high as 350 to 420 megabytes per second compared to 120 to 140 megabytes in the case of spinning drives. While we might not come anywhere near these theoretical speeds just yet, today I have a drive that aims to offer the fastest portable SSD experience till date. Does the Samsung T5 live up to that claim? Let's find out in this review. First, let's look at the box. The one that I have is a 500 gig version, which is a turquoise blue in color. The front of the box has the image of the drive and it seems it is compatible with Windows, Mac and Android. One of the sides shows a 3-year warranty claim and claims a speed of 10 gigabits per second with a USB 3.1 Generation 2. It also boasts of a password protecting software. The back of the box shows transfer speeds up to 540 megabytes per second. Now let's go for the unboxing. First, we need to cut the tape. Now removing the plastic box inside. The SSD is neatly placed inside. Removing the cover now. This looks smaller than most credit cards or business cards would look. It has a USB-C port. Let's look into the accessories. First is the quick start guide. Then comes the most important and highly commendable accessory, the connecting cables. Samsung bundles 2 of these cables. One is USB-C 3.1 second generation to another USB-C 3.1 second generation, while the other cable is USB-C 3.1 second gen to USB-A 3.0, which is backward compatible with USB 2.0 ports as well. So the contents of the box are Samsung T5 500 gigs SSD, quick start guide and 2 connector cables. Design. At 51 grams and 74 into 57.3 into 10.5 mm, the Samsung T5 is practically identical to its predecessor, the T3, in terms of size and weight. It's a bit smaller than most credit and business cards, but a little bit thicker than an average smartphone would be. You won't have any trouble fitting it in your pocket. Like other SSDs, the T5 has no moving parts. Samsung says it can handle drops of up to 2 meters, though I wasn't tempted to test this claim. The drive is rated for use between 5 degrees Celsius and 35 degrees Celsius with humidity between 10 to 80%. There are 4 versions of this SSD: the 250 gig blue, 500 gig blue, 1 terabyte blue and black, and 2 terabyte, which is the T3 drive, and it comes in black. The pricings are completely absurd. The 250 gig is for 9,400 rupees, while the 500 gig is just 100 rupees extra, that is double the capacity, and is just for 9,500 rupees. Why would anyone buy a 250 gig model? 1 terabyte, which is double of 500 gig, is for rupees 28,000. Now I can buy 3 500 gig models for the same price, and that would actually make it 1.5 terabyte. The 2 terabyte version is for rupees 80,000. You can buy 8 500 gig models, that makes it 4 TB for the same price. What was Samsung thinking while making these pricings? Now let's talk about features and performance. I connected the T5 to my 213 MacBook Pro for testing speeds. The connection was through the USB-C to USB-A connector. In fact, the USB port on my MacBook Pro is USB 2.0. And even with this, I got a random read speed of 419 megabytes per second and a write speed of 430 megabytes using the Blackmagic speed test. Like many other external drives, the Samsung T5 comes pre-formatted as exFAT. The 500 gig review unit had a roughly 465 gig space available in it. The drive contains setup files for an application called the Samsung Portable SSD for Windows, Mac and Android, whose primary function is to facilitate password-based hardware encryption. When you install and launch the app, you're prompted to set a password for the drive. If you ignore this, you can use the Samsung T5 just like any other drive. But if you do set a password, however, you need to enter it every time you plug the drive into a host device. The device will need to have the Samsung Portable SSD application installed on it for you to unlock the drive contents. If the app is not installed, you will see a read-only partition with the setup files for the 3 platforms that I mentioned before. Note that if you forget your password, there is no way to restore access to the contents of your drive. You can, of course, format the drive and reuse it, though you will obviously lose whatever was in the drive before. You can disable the password protection. After setting it up, just toggle the password protection to off, put the initial password that you had set up. The Samsung T5 SSD can also be used with Android phones. Of course, the version of the Android OS is important, but if you have Nougat or higher, this will definitely work. Make sure that the USB debugging is on and the OTG storage is on too. This storage will work if your Android phone either has a USB-C port for charging or micro USB port for charging, in which case you would need a micro USB to USB-A female dongle. The Samsung Portable SSD app also lets you check for firmware updates for your drive. The drive has an LED that lights up solid blue when it is plugged in or idle, blinks blue when you're reading or writing, and blinks red once it is safe to remove the drive or when the computer is in sleep mode. The final verdict. The Samsung T5 500GB Portable SSD is an amazing piece of hardware that is especially useful for people who create video content, as you can directly edit from it and export your project into it. If used with the right USB ports, it behaves as fast as an internal SSD would. It's very rare for companies these days to look at micro details of product to help customers use the devices more effectively. A small detail that I liked about the cables was that each has a small Velcro strap on them, allowing them to be made as tidy as possible. The only trick Samsung missed was there is no pouch or carry case included for the T5 and its accessories once you remove it from the packaging. So I went ahead and bought a case for it from Amazon, which is yet to arrive. That concludes this video. I hope you liked it and found it useful. If you did, then do hit the thumbs up button. If you have time, then please go and watch the other videos of my channel, and if you find them to be useful and interesting, then please do subscribe to this channel and hit the bell icon to enable notifications. This is Kalyan Kumar signing off. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye and thank you for watching.